Ghana de Shimamba, Yamuna Makwaba, Eba Royal News, so, Emraso, say Cassia Bobo Mina, Yadibremo, Ewo, Akan, Kasebu, and some Yadibano, Didima Cotino, Ebi, or Swaffle Rapomunism so, and in Sembi Akutuja, Ewo Masube Fee, Ewo, Nina Efa, Cholera, Nate Meningitis Yadian.
Council of State members and so Asaf Nemo Essay.
Sasna DJ President, Eden said, dear Eltuman Penny, and Sembay, Iwuchimbo Ebeba.
Abetu just say Koforidria Eastern Region, Mashibejani Bakon, Neho Akejemu.
Winnie and some of Fubika home, ya bon bede, near the Baba Sumo, El Casabui Emu, Midindi, or say Aquasi, Sheho, Mene.
Nana Amasewa Amwabin. Afei ensama de ba no emunchemu enie. Yamampani John Dramani Mahama ene wa ma Council of State members no wo mo asaf na mo esoi ama santimate masei pani a wono ene wo chine mo se Council of State member ana emre bi atwemu oye regional chairman edema NDC amenyuko no yerwa ya obi mpe ono so eka ho ebi na empanifo akuku dambi etese ankane pani a na wono so eye Speaker of Parliament yerwa do ejewo won so eka ho bia wono kra ene dwemtani edema Council of State members no ebra wo so afnamo esai no yamampani John Dramani Mahama etu wonfo se dwumadi a yede ahye wonsa no eya amamna no ena ehye sa se be yo baba boa no atenete no ama omanfo yedie ene mpuntu agana epe no etumi abasunti no womra meye adwumani ye mfansho man no ene monyam.
The Council of State, as a distinguished advisory body, is composed of men and women of integrity, experience, and sound judgment. Your role is not merely ceremonial, it is one of profound responsibility. You are expected to offer wise counsel on matters of governance, policy, and national development, drawing from your diverse backgrounds and experience. The times we find ourselves in demand nothing less than selfless service, constructive dialogue, and unwavering patriotism. Our nation faces complex challenges, including economic distress, social cohesion issues, and the need to strengthen our democratic institutions. In addressing these issues, your voices must be heard not in mere rhetoric, but in insightful, actionable, and transformative guidance that will propel our nation forward. As you take your oath of office today, I urge you to be guided by the principles of integrity, objectivity, and above all, the national interest. Let your deliberations be marked by sincerity, your advice be rooted in wisdom, and your service be inspired by the supreme welfare of the people of Ghana. I also wish to draw attention to heightened expectation of all who serve in public office. Ghanaians have indicated their revulsion for poor governance and have come to expect nothing short of quality administration of their affairs. In recent times, the Council of State has come under criticism from an expectant public who perceive their work as unsatisfactory and merely one designed to rubber stamp executive decisions. Some have even questioned the very relevance of the Council of State and called for it to be scrapped. I hold out hope that your tenure as Council of State members will convince those who may doubt your functional necessity about your importance and put to rest any such perceptions. On behalf of the people of Ghana and on my own behalf, I congratulate you on your appointment. I'm confident that with your collective wisdom, we'll continue to build a nation that upholds justice, progress, freedom, and unity. May God bless you in your service, and may He bless our beloved Ghana. I thank you.
Oswa for your share apomudin ensem so eye owura kwabena minka akando na odinsem bi e de atodwansem owura akando e de tudwa nyina no efa cholera ne meningitis ade ya ejine homena ewo mantam bi mu ewo man gani hwase na mrashim de fie na okono mu a ode ensem efa ho nyina e de akogu wonum animu ya wo kire mu se emfa so yade amanfo do na nya bi na agi bi mu so nkwa e de fie wonum semo no apomuden adwuma no e bo no homoden pa se wonum behwe ne yade sinisi eti atese no obetumi adi hu dwuma na wonum akra yade no.
Mr. Speaker, I was exceedingly surprised when my own good friend, the minority leader, was trying hard to link the cholera outbreak with change of government. For his information, Mr. Speaker, we started recording cases in cholera as far back in October 2024. Mr. Speaker, yes, that is the records. If you don't know, please keep quiet. That is the records. Mr. Speaker, in 2024, Mr. Speaker, in 2024, in October, DCEs and MCEs were at post. But we recorded cases. And so let us not try to politicize the disease. Mr. Speaker, again, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, he also made.
Honorable members, can we have some order?
Mr. Speaker, he also sought to clarify whether or why Efutu has delayed in the vaccination. Mr. Speaker, the practice is that we have a certain threshold that if you get there, we then put in the request for vaccination. Although Efutu has recorded, cases in the recent times, they go there very late. And so as and when you get there, then we put in the application. We cannot use vaccination for one area for other areas. And therefore, I can assure you that by the end of next week, we may get consignment for Efutu. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, based on the deliberations on the floor of the House, we have all agreed that cholera is sanitation and water problems, and we all need to come on board to fight against any kind of outbreak in this country. I thank you for the opportunity.
Mashibejani awo akwetia eno ewo epoye mantemo eyo onmonyamfo enesia okumi ede abeto dwase ne ho akedwemu ama high court ewo koforidua wo mo ahyese papa wo mo hwehwe no ai na ewe twakrata ede atoneti so ebeka se warrant no wade bi atoneti so na ade nam so ma ne ba nyina ne se wo kiremu a na eni kwan senka onmonyamfo komi wono ankasa ede ne ho kwose mashibejani na ebra mashibejafo eso afna mosai no wono so koko soy bie esanse ebra na wo mo edi sa adwuma no na yeto aba no ewie ye no na mentimo ase bi ewo wono ni nkunimdi a wodi ye se mahebedwa no eho enu nti na asem no ewo koto a na koto ekanti koto kiremu a wo hye no se edu bra mahebedwafo no wo mo so afna mo soy a na nka ni kwan se yewura komi wo kwa wo bi wo mo ka asema wo nko na so mu ya ne so wakwa akogina hodom ai wakweka bi aso ese wo ye mahebedwani na eno wo mo kirema da bi eni kwan se ba senti no enei wo mo ehhwe na wode krata to ne tiri so se baabi a wo bia be hye ne bia wonche no efa no emra court enne court ekwa asetana no presiding judge Justice Senyo ena sansemi wode etudwa.
You would recall that sometime last week we moved an application to have Enesia Okumi convicted and sentenced to prison for his willful disobedience to the orders of a court of competent jurisdiction, that's the High Court of the Republic of Ghana. You would also recall that this case has been on since the 31st of December 2024. And the case essentially has been that Enesia Okumi, that's our case, that he was not validly elected. We followed up with a motion for interim injunction, which motion was granted for 10 days. Now, on the day that the Enesia Okumi was served with the said order, he filed an application to have it set aside. Now, the court heard the application and on the 6th of January 2025 dismissed it, and thereby insisting that he should not hold himself out as the Member of Parliament elect. He willfully disobeyed the orders of the court and went straight to Parliament and availed himself for him to be sworn in as Member of Parliament. And he has since then been calling himself out as the Member of Parliament. We are a country of rules. We decided then to petition the court as pursuant and consistent with the rules of court, which is under 50 of CI 47, that he had willfully disobeyed the orders of the court. Now the case was moved, the motion was moved, and it was slated for today for ruling. Today the court, you would notice, you were all in court, that before the court gave his ruling, lawyer Gary Nimakun was on his feet and wanted to be heard, that he had filed some processes and thereby sought to stay the hands of the court from delivering his ruling. The court said, I don't recognize you. And I must say this, it is a bit shocking. And we lawyers don't usually critique one another or each other. I mean, because we have been trained not to. But I'm a bit surprised that Mr. Gary Nimakun would rise in open court in a contempt case, which we all know, we've all been trained and are aware that contempt proceedings are different from, because the standard of proof is even different. It has a different case number. And so what an excommunication should have done was to either file an appearance or bring his lawyer to file an appearance. An appearance is done, it's a document that you need to file. Or because it's a quasi-criminal matter, like anybody who has gone to steal a sheep or a fowl, you have to be present in court to purge yourself of the contempt. You don't send a lawyer who has filed nothing. And you would recall that since the inception of this case, Mr. Gary Nimakun has always been coming to court, and he hasn't even filed an appearance consistent with Order 9 of CI 47. And this is serious, but we are waiting, and we will meet him at the Supreme Court. That's a different matter. But you see, today the court said that I don't recognize you because you are not the contemnor, you are not an Yaokumi, and you haven't filed anything in this case. So who are you in the matter? So the court said, I won't even record you. And so that is why that arbitration happened, and then Gary had to be in his seat for the court to proceed. Now the ruling happened, and the court essentially is saying that indeed all the ingredients in all the authorities he listed proved that he woefully disobeyed the orders of the court, and that irrespective of your opinion about an order of a court, it doesn't give you the license to disobey it.
Yɛmfa ni fanche Ghana ha nsɛmtwefo nyinaa nkabamku wɔnom akache na panyin oda wɔnom ano no akasa yɛde sɛdeɛ ɛde ɛto ɛyɛ Ghana mampanyin His Excellency John Dramani Mahama animu na ensɛm a panyin ɛka nyinaa ɛne sɛ nansen nsɛmtwefo yɛbrim yɛ paa ɛbrɔ de yɛgibi ibɛnimu paapai ibia no paapai bi kɔda ya sabia report ne bi kɔ police station nyinaa na wɔkyɛ sɛ wɔsrɛ ɔmanpanyin sɛ animu ni mu na da braka ɛbɛyɛ anka wɔn hwɛ no man homene so ɛwɔ nsɛmtwefo a yɛburu emu no ɛho no na ɔnyɛ nhyɛ ya ɛbɛbɔ bi sɛ sensem si kɔ no ano ɛdi.
We wish to take this opportunity to appeal to one of our own senior member of this fraternity, the President of the Republic of Ghana, President John Dramani Mahama, to take a personal interest in these cases as the Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces and ensure that the perpetrators are arrested, arraigned, and punished for their crimes. In making this appeal, we remind the President of the commitment he made to the media and the nation on 7 July 2024 at the Kempinski Gold Coast Hotel. During a media engagement, on that occasion, I, on behalf of the GJ and the media fraternity, asked President Mahama, then flag bearer of the NDC, about his thoughts on the privatization of the state-owned media and assault against media practitioners. The president said he was against, yes, the president said once again, he was against both instances and pledged to promote the interests of the media at all times. This is the time we expect the president, who is one of us, to redeem his pledge and to share in the plight of journalists. We shall continue to remind him of his assuring words. We hope he will not give us cause to believe those words were mere rhetoric.
Kasamafo Edema Electricity Company of Ghana Nenkwabata ewa Asante Mantema say ede atudwa se enya dia dum so ewo Kumase na nse wo se de nkane ane esi na ne premdum so aka na ho pa edam so madodo na ede so bo ebo mampani mama se mama no no ba e wasan de dum so aba na nso owura yi kire mu adabi enya dum so na aba eyo haw bi aba won fidi a wodidi dwuma ho na ya na wo siesie ntino nkane ano ebebo obo nani saa asemi Royal News yakomonten so ebisa Kumasi adehye bi se aso dumso no na aba anase nye dumso omache omadwin
ye best John Mahama yelimisa oba na dum so na na ode ba yesei obi chedran mu a ne yedum light ye ba ye tiasa e hye nso wom e ma adwuma nkoso nti ye serensa oba na dwen na ne ye de to aba no yenim so oba bedum no ampa so ye sa de a onsesa ne mai
dum so dey very bad we do like what we do 5 times a day. I remember I said last 2 years same dum so na same TV mama told brand new TV me buy instead to TV but I said dum so mama told brand new TV they say the quad they say west we do light and ajo worry heat we better
boy crash say nyama bebre ma 20 ade say dia yes aban no
o nyama kra wo frija na wo nyama nyina nyame amo na nyina ase nyama yentibi nya adwuma basa no bia bedia wo beje nyama na kyesa ya ho kyesa kane dum no de yes na dawo mama no apam fo mo kan timpa ho amomoaye ewa ahohwa na kane dundun no de doso wa ahohwa do
Yetua ensem so ayemfa yani emfa enche National Petroleum Authority NPA ene yetwa ne tia eka no na wonom ene mpanyifo ekabiwo mu ehia adinkomo na nkomodie ya wonom edi ye no na nyina so eye Ghana's downstream oil and gas sector challenges and opportunities eno ne dwumadium die no na nyina so na eho ena panyipa edema NPA ye owura tamaklu okotena ase na odensam ede etudwa ne nsema woka nyina and say empanyifo ayegyehye ya NP4 FSA 24-hour economy no on by so o makachi na shase aye adwuma dikadika pa ede ama wo mo chief executive Dr. Meslemu Owura Tamakro echira dwumadi na shase na nkasa no ombehwe na omadi wo mo ankasa eho no ya wedi e wo mo tonton petrol ni ade no so no ombe deploy mbamafo no makoho no no kohwe na mbambo nsem kan yeso akoyi ede ama wo no eho no beyimu na sa dwumadi nso akoso eho se we enhye ya wo no ehwe yese beboa na onu yeso mo tonton petrol no so akase mu so no omu nyina so nsa beka wonom odie wose hihye we 24-hour economy no ebeboa pa yi pa petroleum sector na beboa pa yi mo from beboa pa momdwumedi akonanim ose mampanyini His Excellency John Dramani Mahama inso adi hunu so behwe no wodi sa adwuma wonyina nunti eno no so eje ade ato metri so wahwe aye no bia ya ono so ye panyini no ewo no wose wono oba no ohwe so behwe aboa ama petrol dwumadi gas dwumadi ejina ne nan so ewo maganem ha dwumadi bia bekoso afa ho bia mbede ho fan ma ho nsem enso akoyi na dwumadi wono a omde share so Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies and na womo share so emom share ya ensemu nyina so course so panyin ensemu nyina ede etudwa
Yade kase no ekwa kopiem ewo adwura ene memena so ekwan no eso na enkrai fi ho ba ekiremu a akronfo wo mo de tuo kwa akronebo eye amrobes no wo makeka wo ho ewo sa kwan no so pa nam so ama drobafo a wo mo de wondwuma ewo sa pom ho nom ne de etia no botiemu na nsan drobe ni bi nyame amfafi a enka akronfo renfo ya wo de tuo kwa akronebo ibi wo mo kwa akoto ahye ne so age ne nkwa efre ne nsama san awia no na nso nyame gye ne ho afofie wo mo gye ne niam de nanso ne nkwade onyaneti edidi mu enam so ama drop a wo mo adwura memena so wo mo ne central for kasa se de aduru ne de wo mo stress yenka bi ma wo mo na empanimfo ente won kasa be ya obayire bambo mu wo kwan no so ama wo mo
Roberts no etuo no memena so adwura kwan so a police for no ti Pano so aska dienkua eno moje wa hwedia Anrevers aye kai disken na phones bia waje doko we baby atuo yi amba kai nyame nkuma Ghana police force ke dienkua nyame dwomo kapa Wache Omampeni Mahama sauti yanka ye bibi dampare ye pa soldiers forward drakwan so because armed robbers no money abre we na me nko ka we abuba pa no hwe bonnet so na hwe glass no so pa we na ye de RtvGhana say ye ko man ni ye armed robbers wo abra akoye usi akoye waduma na we ne sika ha ka to ba be gba ko ma na armed robbers aba be jina kan so no ma ji sika no na me nko awe ka driver ni no ko mu ku eti ye srempe ni mfo mu nye bribi e ma ye na adrafo ye hu na ma ne wo kan no so pa
ye to asem so a yenko eye drakate eyikro ye ben akati ewo enkran kwantimpon no eso ni aflawo kwantimpon no eso na aposifo a omko petrol honom no achi nipa menu bi a sa nipa menu ma chi omu suse wonom ekuta container bi a nipa moja na ewumu na nipa menu din ene disui agbofu ase kwasi wini eye owofishia aduasa enan oichichiri ni saa so na Morgan Martins owofie aduasa enwotwe ono so contractor ya omode sobo ede bo wono se wono ekuta nipa moja asanso hu nipa wono makwa ebo wono ekwa ni nya no Ghana Criminal Offences Amendment no Act 2012 ede ma Act 2960 no omo hu bon mu amakodi adwemu saa ensem ensu emu na onu chiremu a February busu de toso enkono na wonum ekire wo mu a na omo eti Toyota Corolla kai emu epi na number no GW 283719 na kai free enkran na eko aflawo na senye dwumadie ni esiko yeni na senye aposifo ni siye omo dwumadie enie omo chese wonum ehu drabani ya drabani no car no de kono na containers bi ewu ma container ewu no ya twero eye wini abofu ase ni din na ye de agu ho ne number nyina enso ka ho bi to omo kire drabani no to omo chembisa no chese abrantie bi na de sa niam na soma no se onfa enko na o chese wogi free eye tema ya aye abofu ase din ni gu na o de ko eye agozomi ho de sa container no enso e de eko dimu a emnyame ya do ma Didi Martin so no omoko ekokire no a ono so ewo eya police fakachon so eboa manhwemu akọ edi afa eyesa ensem no ehu na driver ni kire se enka emoja ewu container mu ni nipa hono makwa no enka do kolomi eye togu hono enka de saa emoja no enso edi ekura nyame adoma aposifo achi nipa mienu ya omakodi aposifo nsa no mo hwese kwadibofo de kwadibebo no na omade om nsem e court.
Yama kwa bafe ya maudoso nsema yesaka ene yede twaso amamono World Health Organization apomode atna yekase no akache ene yakwa akodru na ene womode ensema babonten ede ma wona womo yensa anu oden yebekasa alcoholic beverages no se efi na ekwe womode ba wonchuro sunsanso a enya ewo nipa saso emfa enka ntro ya no woye ne ho se be ya wobi enomu a wobehu se we ya wonumi ebenya sunsanso ewo so cancer ubetumi anya bi wo mo gidi se ebasa na ebeboa wo si ne nipa dodo na cancer yade wo mo anya bi no mo hwemu ho se eye saa niema na dodo na anom no e na akofade abanti se wo tworo de gu hu na nipa na kenkan na se no achi no wo se wo benom a na se wo ni obi ani asem na mmom se wo man tworo na wo bi konom na ekofa yade bi saa de brane de a enne na sansa kro na nipa no nom ye no wadwumaku a wo ye no wo mo no ebe wo bi aka
ya twansem so amawdroso ensimu a yenko global status for wonom ede amanebo bi ede aba monten so na nyina efa eye enkoda ene empanyufo eye ekwan so brebre ho ensem akwanhia eye ekoso no matwetwe hu sim na ede eba wonom chese akwanhia ye ekoso yakwan ahudru mu no ya na traffic no eka hu bi nisa ho nyina enso ede eba se ya ema nipa dodo na no eto na mo nsie do ebi su eprepra wonom chese afibia nipa bro eye mpempem na wonom enya akwanhia bia enkoda wo fie no ewo mfie eye de wo fomo eba eso bepem mfie du enkron no wonom eka wo be munya sa akwanhia dodo na no ya na akwanhia no omu enya pa eyi pa wonom chese base ya maman a omusika form omusika sem ewo form no srem no emomo ho echompa eyi pa omuse eye epra eya ekoso no hasa aman no eni enkunketu awumu a emwa emma humasua eni sikasem enkuyi emma wonmo a womo etimu no omusan so echiremu bim se enkoda ne empanyifo a eya wonum akwanhia isi a wonum eprepra no ho behia se empanifo ben hyeye ye beboa wonum nyina na onu dwumedi mu die so akonim ade ama wonom na sanso aboa ma SDGs a ebima nyina ye ni ewo ho no ye nsa so atumi aka
we na aha ene brema kwan amakase boy boaboa no ede bremo no ye de ni nyina esi mosonfo eyeme na na masewa amoabe menem
osei akwasi hweho ye da masem mo no hweniti a enyado yakram